Very good morning, students. For this lecturing video session, I am going to solve a problem from the chapter Projections of Solids. Right. Let me just read out the question and make you understand what has been given and what needs to be drawn. A hexagonal prism of base side 25 mm and axis 60 mm long lies with one of its rectangular faces on HP such that the axis is inclined at 45 degree to VP. Draw its projections. Right. So, given data, the object is a hexagonal prism. So, object is a hexagonal prism of side S is equal to 25 mm. And axis 60 mm long, which is nothing but the axis height. So, axis height is 60 mm. Lies with one of its rectangular faces on HP. So, where it is resting? Resting on HP. Resting on HP. How it is resting? Whether it is on corner or edges? No, it's not neither edge nor corner. It is resting with one of its rectangular faces. With rectangular face. Right. Such that the axis is inclined 45 degree to VP. The axis inclination. Axis is inclined to VP at 45 degree. So, this question is somewhat different from the usual, that means the previous questions, where the previous questions and all, it used to specify that it is resting, that particular object is resting with one of its corner or one of its edges, isn't it? But it is slightly different from the previous problems. Look at its rectangular faces, right. If the object is resting in this manner, it's resting with one of the base on HP, corner is on the right hand side, therefore it is resting on corner. Suppose its edge is kept as a condition in the right hand, is resting with one of its edge. But what it says, rectangular face, this is top face, this is bottom face, these are corners, these are edges or sides, and where it comes, rectangular faces. Yes, these are rectangular faces, isn't it? Right. So, how it is resting? It is resting on HP with one of its rectangular faces, isn't it? So, assume my hand has a horizontal plane and board has a vertical plane. Now, if I rest in this manner, what it says? It is resting on HP with one of its rectangular faces, isn't it? So, when you look at from the front, you could see the true shape of the object, that is hexagon. And since it is resting on HP with the rectangular face, therefore, this side should touch the XY line. That is the difference between the previous problem and this problem. So, this is how it is resting. When you look at from the top, you could see the rectangular faces, isn't it? So, this is how this object is positioned, and further axis is inclined 45 degree. That means this is what? This is how it has been inclined. This is making some inclination with VP. So, this is the final position, that is axis is inclined. Suppose in order to draw the true shape, that means to start the diagram, the first diagram, the axis should be perpendicular to one of the plane. So, if it is inclined, you cannot even draw the true shape of the drawing from the top view or the front view or the side view. So the perpendicular, the axis should be kept perpendicular to one of the axes. Suppose I tilt in this manner. Now the axis is perpendicular to VP and parallel to HP. Where the axis is perpendicular, there you will see the true shape. Now the axis is perpendicular to VP, therefore first drawing should be drawn on VP. So this is the XY line. Above XY is VP, below is HP. It has been divided into two stages. The first stage is for symbol position or symbol resting, symbol position, and the stage 2 belongs to axis inclination or any other special condition. Axis inclination. Fine. Where to start the diagram? It should be started in VP. Since it is resting with one of the rectangular face, then it should lie on the XY line. Right? So you have to start the diagram on the XY line. So the side of 25 mm. Take 25 mm. This is 25 mm. So you know how to draw the hexagon, isn't it? So measure the distance, that is 25 mm, keeping it here, cut an arc. Similarly, keeping at the other end, cut an arc. Now this is the center, make a circle. Make a circle. Right, and without changing the radius, that is 25 mm, keep it at here, cut an arc, and just go on marking the arc. Right, by doing so, you have marked on the periphery of the circle. Now connect all the edges. Now connect all the edges. It's a hexagon. So now look at here. It is resting with one of the rectangular faces on HP. So now I am going to give the notation for this. Starts from here. A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash, and F dash. This is for the front face, isn't it? This is for the top face or front face. What about the rear or bottom face? So there also you have a similar shape, that is hexagon, isn't it? So that is invisible. So start with P is invisible, Q is invisible, R is invisible, S is invisible, T invisible, U invisible, isn't it? So now I have finished the front view, then I will have to draw the top view for this, the projection. So for the symbol resting. So for which I will have to project the lines vertically downwards, vertically downwards. Right. Since this object is touching on the XY line, right? So you should leave some space and to draw the front view, because it's not saying that it is resting on HP, though it is resting on HP, but it's not resting on VP also. So it is resting on HP, right? So leave some space of 20 mm or so and close the boundary. Now the axis is here, right? Extend that axis. Extend this axis. This is the axis. What is the axis right here? 60 mm. Take 60 mm from here and cut an arc. Now close the boundary. Now close the boundary. Boundary has been closed now. Right. Now when you just look at from the top, I could see the longer edges, this F and U, E and T, isn't it? So that needs to be drawn as dark. That needs to be drawn as dark line. Fine. When you look at from the top, what are the corners would be visible? F, E, D, A are visible. So this is how it has been positioned. Visible faces, that is A, B, C, D. Here invisible P, Q, R, S. When you look at from the top, A, B, C, D would be in the bottom of the this prism, right? So AB, A, F, E, D are visible. So this could be A, this could be F, and this could be E, and this could be D. What about B and C? C is right behind E, therefore C is invisible. C is invisible. B is right behind F, therefore B is invisible. B is invisible. So the front face or the top face has been mentioned, the notation has been marked. Now let's move to the rear face or the bottom face. So when you just look at from here, P is visible, U is visible, T is visible, S is visible, isn't it? So P is visible, U is visible, T is visible, S is visible. What about R and Q? Q is right behind U, therefore Q is invisible. R is right behind T, therefore R is invisible. Got it? So now symbol position or symbol resting has been covered. The front view and top view has been drawn here. What about the next stage? The next stage pertains to axis inclination. Look at here, the axis is inclined to VP at 45 degree. This axis needs to be tilted at 45 degree, right? What I am going to do is, this longer edge SD is parallel to axis. By tilting the longer edge SD, automatically the axis will also get inclined, right? So let me just choose a point here and keep the protector in this manner. Now from the horizontal, take 45 degree and draw a line, inclined line. Now this is 45 degree. This is 45 degree. And this is S, right? The S point I am just marking here. S point I am marking it here. So this could be S1. Look at here, this corner is perpendicular to the longer edge. That base is perpendicular to the longer edge. So keep a protector in this manner, draw 90 degree line. Now measure the distance between S and P in your compass. S and P, cut an arc. This could be P1, isn't it? Now measure the distance between S and D in your compass. Keep it at S and cut an arc. This could be D1. Now measure the distance between P and A in the compass. Keeping at P, cut an arc. Similarly, measure the distance between D and A, keeping at D, cut an arc. Cut an arc. So now connect the line. Right. The boundary has been transferred there. Now what is next? Measure it from S to T, mark it. D to E, mark it. Similarly, P to U, mark it. A to F, mark it. A to F. Draw a line. Initially draw thin lines so that if at all you make any error or mistake, you can just erase that off. Now next, axis. Measure S to send, that is axis. Now D to axis. Draw the axis line. Now draw the object line by using H or HB pencil. Draw all the lines. Then transfer all the points here, that is the notations. So P, this one could be U1 and Q1. Next could be T1 and R1. The front face, that is D, and here this could be E1 and C1. Next, F1 and B1. Next, A1. Now extend this axis till it intersects the XY line. Now this is the inclination with VP of 45 degree. Erase this. Right? That was an imaginary line which we assumed, right? By tilting the longer edge, naturally the axis will get inclined, isn't it? So now this particular view has been tilted at 45 degree. Next, allow to draw the final front view, for which allow to extend all the edges or corners, whatever, vertically upwards. Vertically upwards. From the front view, draw horizontal projectors. Horizontal projectors. Now I got a box over here. So within the box only I am going to get the final front view. So for which allow to see the merging points. That is nothing but the meeting points, intersection points. A is here. Where is A? A. A is meeting here. This could be A1 dash. B is here. B is here. This could be B1 dash. C. C and C are intersecting here. This could be C1 dash. D. D and D are merging here. So this could be D1 dash. E. E and E are meeting here. This could be E1 dash. F. F and F are meeting here. This could be F1 dash. The front face or the top face has been marked. Now give the notation for the rear face or the bottom face. P. P and P are meeting here. This could be P1 dash. Q. Q and Q are intersecting here. This could be Q1 dash. R. R and R are meeting here. This could be R1 dash. S. S and S are meeting here. This could be S1 dash. T. T and T are meeting here. This could be T1 dash. And U. U and U are meeting here. This could be U1 dash. Right. So what did I teach you? How to draw the final views? First thing is, the preliminary thing is to connect all the boundary. Boundary should be closed. So the boundary is P, Q, R, B, C, D, E, F, T, U and P. So by using the scale, connect it. Everything. Connect all the points. Right. Next, mention the checklist. That is the front face or the top face, which is A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F and A. A to B is connected, B to E is connected, C to D, E, F and F A. Then for the bottom face or bottom base, P to Q, Q to R, R to S, S to T, T to U and P. It is connected in this manner. Next comes the longer edges or vertical edges. Longer edges or vertical edges. P, Q, R, S, T, U, A, B, C, D, E, F. So P to A, Q to B, R to C, S to D, T to E and U to F. U to F. Longer edges PA, QB, RC, SD, TE, UF. Isn't it? The object is being placed in this manner. So it is resting with one of the rectangular faces and the axis is inclined with VP of 45 degree. Isn't it? So now the front face is always visible. Isn't it? Because when the axis is inclined, when you just look at from the front, the front face, that is a hexagonal face, would be visible in a skew form, right? So always this would be visible. So therefore I can just darken all the edges. I can darken the edges. Then what about the rear? So only 1, 2, 3, 4 corners are visible. That is 4 and 5 are visible, isn't it? So R to S and S to T are invisible, because here, look at here, I have given some hint in the previous problem. The point which is that edge or corner which is nearer to the XY, assume this is this point. What are the edges or longer edges are connected, those are invisible, right? When you talk about here, S is connected to T and R, that is edges. Longer edge S to D, that will be invisible, isn't it? So in that case, R to S would be invisible and S to T would be invisible, right? Next comes the longer edges, PA allowed to draw dark line, because when the object is tilted in this manner, PA, that is A is mentioned here, PA is visible, PA is clearly visible for me, so I have drawn the dark line. Next QB is already there, that is on the boundary. RC, where is RC? RC is already there, covered in the boundary. Now comes SD. SD, so you look at here, this is how it is resting, and SD is in the this side, so which will not be visible for me, so that is invisible for me, isn't it? So up to A, that is visible, then next it is invisible. Next comes TE, which is already been covered in the boundary. UF is also already covered in the boundary. So with this, with this checklist, I have covered all the edges as well as the longer edges, isn't it? So with this, the projections of this particular solid, that is a hexagonal prism, has been over. Now I need to give the dimensioning for this. So for this, I have to specify the side, which is 25 mm, which is 25 mm. And what about the axis side? Axis side I can mention in this manner. So the axis height is 60 mm. Over the dimensioning line, you will have to mark it 60. Next, what you have to do is you will have to just write the notes within the guideline of 5 mm height. You will have to mention all dimensions are in mm. And next, the scale what you used, whether it could be true scale or reduced scale or enlarged scale. See, as far as this problem is concerned, I have used as it is, whatever the original, that is actual dimension given, same thing I used. Therefore, the scale could be true scale, which is scale 1:1. Hope you have all understood this. Thank you.